Hey, welcome to my power level guide, or either how you increase your power level as fast as possible. As you can see, this here is a level 16 character and I've already reached power 105. This was done in a 3 hours live stream from creation to this point that you can see right now. And throughout the video I will use some footage from that stream, and you can check out the whole stream uploaded right here on YouTube as a video if you are interested in seeing that. So what is the reason why I'm doing this? The reason why I do this is because I've noticed a lot of people on Twitch, where I witnessed some live streams, who are getting stuck at a certain power level, usually somewhere between 30 and 70. This is where people usually get stuck. So I went out on Twitch and took a few screenshots just to show you exactly what I mean. It didn't take long for me to gather a bunch of screenshots. Just keep in mind that I had to blacken out every webcam or channel name or whatever, because I don't want to display these people as bad players. I just want to make a few examples, and this is meant to help people and not to point the finger at them and tell them you're bad. So looking at the first picture, we can clearly tell it's a new player and he probably doesn't understand much about the game. But still, you can already learn a few things from here. He is currently a power level 8, which means he will drop items in a range from level 6 to level 13, which you can clearly see in his inventory. Now, the issue he's having is that he is sticking to a level 1 glaive and a level 4 rocket. If he would just increase these, he would break the power breakpoint of power 10, and he would start dropping items from level 12 to level 19. And he seems to at least have played a dungeon with the others on that difficulty. That's why he got this level 15 totem of protection. But other than that, his drops are just right in that range, below 12. And he could easily increase, but he just doesn't, because he doesn't know that he should just upgrade. He was talking about his pickaxe and it was like, yeah, it's just 4 damage more, I should not do this, this glaive is better. And this is exactly the issue. Like, you want to get rid of that weak items no matter what. It doesn't really matter what enchantments they have or how good their stats are. So here we have a power level 73 player, and as you can see, he is held down by the 2 artifacts he's chosen, which are below power level 70. He's currently sitting at the breakpoint that you reach when you got your power level to 68, and he's dropping items in the range of 70 to 78. And the next breakpoint he could reach would already be at 74, so it really just needs these 2 artifacts to be a little bit higher, and he would start dropping items from power level 76 to 83, which again would be an upgrade to all of his item slots basically. Now this lower level player here is currently at power level 19, which means he's at the breakpoint that you reach when your power level gets 16, and he drops items currently from power 18 to 25. And the next breakpoint he could reach would be at power level 22, and he would start dropping items from power level 24 to 31, which would be an upgrade to all of his item slots. And if we look at his currently equipped items, you can clearly see that it's his melee weapon as well as his crossbow making the difference here, which are dragging him down a lot. He has a better weapon in his inventory, but for some reason he chose to just not use it anymore. Here we have one of the higher level players again, and he has a huge gap between the power level of his items. I think because they are trying to keep a certain build together, it seems like higher level players tend to have more issues regarding their artifacts. They're too low level, especially the harvester is super low level, it's level 24 compared to all his other items. This is just ridiculously low. He's currently sitting at 60 power, which means he is in the breakpoint that you reach with power 56, so he will drop items from 59 to 66. So even the least powerful item he can get, and you can see this in his inventory, he got these, will be a huge upgrade to that. And the next power level he could reach would be at 62, where he would drop items from level 65 to 72. So this would basically everywhere be an upgrade except for his armor, which tells me that he already had more power and he downgraded for whatever reason. He felt this was a good idea because his build felt weak, or I don't know. So players, especially those who are stuck at a certain point and just desperately want to level up, need to get rid of the idea that some stats or enchantments on their items matter. because all that really matters in the end is that you got 2 boots of swiftness and gear that is just high enough power level so that you can push the next breakpoint. And that's actually all you really need, just 2 boots of swiftness, and from there you can start. And now I'm going to explain you how you proceed step by step so that you can have a smooth increase of your power level without getting stuck anywhere. So I start with a new character as every new player would, and we first have to go through Squid Coast and the tutorial level to find our camp in the end. And from there we start our first mission, which is Creeper Woods. And here's the first very important thing. We want to make sure that we grab the secret dungeon map to the creepy crypt. As you can see right here, this is the way there where it's located, and you just go there, grab it, and then you go through and finish Creeper Woods. And after that we directly go into a creepy crypt and we stay there until we got 2 boots of swiftness. You may stay until you get a third one, but only if you really don't feel confident in getting enough cooldown reduction or speed synergy enchantments on your way, then you can get the third boots as a backup basically. Don't get lured away by all the treasure that may be hidden somewhere in the creepy crypt. Just really follow your way, and if there's a treasure room like right around the corner of your main path, you can get it, but don't go out of your way, it's just wasting time. Of course, these neat power-ups are important, but you don't need them that desperately. So trust me on that, just go straight. If you find a way on the side, just take it. I will show you how it should look like right now, and then you get a rough idea of how far you could go out of your way, but not further. And here you can see what I mean. The light blue path is your main path, and the green path is where it leads you to one of the treasure rooms marked with the X. And what I crossed out with red, this is ways you should not attempt to go for. They're simply too long. There might be something at the end of it, but not for sure, and even if, it's just not worth your time. So if you have been to creepy crypts a few times already, you should already know how these rooms look like that are actually worth visiting. And if you don't, let me know in the comments below and I will put out a guide for you on how to farm the worth levels most efficiently. And once you got your second pair of boots, we are ready to progress. So now that we've got our 2 boots of swiftness, we make our way to pumpkin pastures. And we do so for 2 reasons. The first one being that we can unlock the secret map of Ark Haven here. And for that you want to look out for the big stone wall that is located near the start of the level. And from there you have 2 options. You can either follow the yellow arrow to the end of the mission, or you can follow a path leading to the side. And if it is there, you will find a boat that you can enter at the end of the path. Inside the boat you will already find the map, but the gate will close in front of you. You have to defeat a couple of mobs. You get a golden chest as reward for killing all of them, as well as the map to Ark Haven. And from here we will go after our second reason why we came to Pumpkin Pastures, and this is going to the end of the map, defeating the boss and finishing the map. Because this will unlock the Wandering Trader in your camp. And this guy is going to sell you new artifacts. For example, some new boots with longer duration, or later maybe even a ghost cloak that could actually come in handy. And now we're all set to just keep going Ark Haven until we reach power level whatever your goal is basically. You want to make sure that you always play on the breakpoint that you've just reached. You don't go over it, you don't go below it. And as you saw right now, I've joined the mission with the higher power gear, and then I switched to the boots of swiftness right as I entered. So I was in the map with the high power gear, and after that point it doesn't really matter how high my power level is anymore, because all the drops inside will be adjusted to the power level that I entered the map with. And for those of you who haven't played Ark Haven yet, you can see a little sped up footage of myself doing a Ark Haven run in the background now. The first mission you have to do is kill a couple of mobs in front of a gate, you just saw that, and what I was doing just right now was collecting 3 spell books out of a larger area for the next gate to open up. And then you will enter a tunnel which contains 2 golden chests, one of which you just saw, the other one is located at the far end of the tunnel. In between you can sometimes find a couple of emerald vases or even wooden chests. I would recommend you, if you can, just take these emeralds with you. You can get more items at the camp from that, so why not? And your last mission will be after you leave the tunnel, you have to fight another group of mobs. I think it's 3 waves. Then a gate will open up, and you can just hop on the ship and be done with the map. But before you leave the map, remember to also equip your high power level gear again, because the same way as the drops that you get inside of a map are bound to the breakpoints, so are the items that you receive from the blacksmith or the wandering trader when you enter the camp. So if you change your gear within the camp, that doesn't really affect them, but when you enter the camp, they also check for the breakpoint that you've just reached and will give you items in that drop range. So keep that in mind, that is very important. Now you could argue that why don't you go farm Soggy Cave? You can skip most of the rooms, you only have one combat room if any, and you get a save item from the obsidian chest plus your artifact as well, and it's a little bit faster. Um, the reason is that it's not that much faster, it's about 40 seconds, and we're talking about that Archaven runs take about 2 minutes and Soggy Cave runs take about 1 minute and 15 seconds or something like this if you have the proper speedrun gear. Um, Now, simply 2 chests are way better in 2 minutes than 1 chest in 1 minute and 20 seconds. That's why we don't go Soggy Cave. The same goes for Desert Temple, but Desert Temple additionally having the issue that one of the chests is not even there all the time, and additionally you don't even get the artifact at the end because you don't complete the level. Let's also talk about the other fan favorite farming spots that are out there, Creepy Crypt and Lower Temple. I personally, if I just go for maximum like item and emerald output, I do farm in Lower Temple. Reason for Lower Temple not being really worth it if you want to increase in your power level as fast as possible is because as well as you have so many chests that you can open there, you will also find as many items of the same power level in one run. Which means when you find 5 armors all with power level 25, even though your old armor might be just power level 17, you got an increase of 8 power level, but still 4 of the 5 items that you found are garbage. So they don't really do something for you, they just take away your time. Similar thing is it with Creepy Crypt, you also find a lot of items, but Creepy Crypt having the additional issue that most of these golden chests are hidden behind some combat events, so it takes really long to complete a Creepy Crypt run, which is why I don't recommend Creepy Crypt at all if you want to go for most efficiency or speed. So basically you can now go and farm your gear on whatever map you really feel the most comfortable with. Archaven is just the most efficient one, but in the end it's up to taste, and if you don't care that much about efficiency, then you can go for whatever map you want really. Just one thing you have to keep in mind now is that at a certain point you won't be able to drop higher level gear anymore unless you defeat the Heart of Ender boss in the Obsidian Pinnacle to unlock the next difficulty. And there again you will at a certain point reach another power cap that your gear can drop at, and you have to defeat the boss again to unlock the final difficulty where you can finally go to farm the highest gear possible. But to be able to do that, you have to go through certain levels first to basically unlock the boss. And you have to go through the following. You have to go through Cacti Canyon, Redstone Mines, Fiery Forge, Desert Temple, and High Block Halls. You don't need any of the bonus levels, you don't need Soggy Swamp, and we don't need Creeper Woods anymore as we've already completed it when we started and got our basic equipment. So you want to put the difficulty of these levels as low as possible so that you can go through there as quickly as possible, and also so that the bosses at the end will be no challenge for you whatsoever. And yes, that also means that you won't drop any good items from there, but we don't really go for it anyways. We have our efficient farming spots. We just want to complete these as quickly as possible, defeat the end boss, and proceed on the next difficulty, really. Now you can see the questions coming up on how you want to defeat that boss with basically no good gear because all you care about is speed, and also no enchantments because we don't level up. Now you could see what I was using there. Key really is just a high level bow that yields some good single target damage. You don't want a scatter crossbow or something like that. And to make things even more easy, if you can get it, a totem of protection. It totally works without it, but with it, it just goes a little bit smoother, and by that also a little bit quicker. As you can see in the background, if you just get a high enough bow, you deal tons and tons of damage without the need of any enchantments or a special bow or something. And if you just stick to setting the difficulty to the lowest possible, as you can see here, you can defeat this guy without any issues whatsoever in a matter of seconds. And now, once we defeated that boss, we will just do the same thing we did before. We go to Arkhaven or whatever map you decided on farming that you feel the most comfortable with, and we go to get our gear score up again until we reach the cap of that second difficulty, defeat the Heart of Ender, and do the same thing again on the third difficulty. And well, after a while we will reach the power level 103, which will be the last breakpoint from where you can drop the highest power level gear. Let me quickly show you that too. We go to Apocalypse, and there you see once you reach power 103, you can drop the power levels 105 until 112. Now this means that you can drop items until power level 113, which are currently the best items that you can get, as well as the artifacts that can drop until 115 power level. Then I would recommend you, after you're done with all of this, to go to Soggy Swamp and unlock the secret map for Soggy Cave. Simply because you have here the best loot pool to basically get a strong starting build going. You have the gauntlets in here, which can be the fighter's bindings as the legendary variant, one of the strongest items currently in the game. Same with the double axes, you can get a really powerful item. I personally prefer the whirlwind axe, and in my opinion is currently the strongest item in the game. And then we have the evocation robe. Here it doesn't really matter if you get the legendary variant or not, but you want it because of its unique stat line with the movement speed and the artifact cooldown, and you want to look out for as much cooldown and speed synergy as you can get. So the best case would be 2 times cooldown and 1 time speed synergy, and with that you can get a really fast build going with the usage of the mushroom, boots and ghost cloak. And together with one of the other items I told you, like the axe or the fighter's bindings, you can already get a pretty solid high power level farming build together. Now, if you just want to get more experience points for more enchantments first, you can check out my guide on how to do an AFK XP farm. But keep in mind that the required items are kind of hard to get, like you need a little bit of RNG for that, so you might not be able to pull it off right after you reach the maximum power level. But anyways, it could be of help for you. And yeah, that also concludes this video. So I think there's nothing more I should tell you. If you feel like I've missed out on something, please let me know down in the comments. I will try to answer all of your questions. And while you are down there, just please consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. This would really help the channel growing and the video to get out to other people, because I think that the information in this video is really helpful to many of you guys out there. So yeah, your help is much appreciated there. And you know from other videos that you might have seen that I usually don't ask for that, but this channel is still pretty small, so it's kind of hard to get people to see the videos on here. And if you're interested in how these tips that I gave you today would look like if you put into practice, you can check out my streams or the re-uploads of them that I put on here on YouTube as well. I do 3-hour speedruns where I go from power level 0 to 105, so it is quite literally what I was telling you today in this video. Just to keep in mind, I'm not native English speaking, and usually in my streams I don't speak English except if there are English speaking people in there. You can find the link to my stream also down in the description. So that's all for this video today. I thank you all for watching, and I hope you found it informative or at least entertaining. With that, I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye bye!